Welcome to Men of the West, a podcast forged in the fire of history's defining moments, where we honor the valor, wisdom, and unyielding spirit of the great men who shaped our civilization. Here, we explore not only the thunder of battles, but the pivotal events and timeless lessons that echo through the ages. With reverence, we stand in the shadow of our forebears, drawing from their triumphs and trials to lead ourselves into the future with courage and purpose. Today, we journey to the stars, to a time when the West, led by America, dared to defy gravity itself in a desperate race against communism's iron grip. This is the story of the Apollo astronauts, heroes who carried the hopes of a nation to the moon. In 1961, President John F. Kennedy stood before the world and declared,
"We choose to go to the moon in this decade and do the other things, not because they are easy, but because they are hard. Because that goal will serve to organize and measure the best of our energies and skills. Because that challenge is one that we're willing to accept, one we are unwilling to postpone, and one we intend to win."
His words were a clarion call, a gauntlet thrown at the feet of the Soviet Union. The communists had struck first. Sputnik's cold beep mocked the West, and Yuri Gagarin, the first man in space, waved their red flag in triumph. The stakes were colossal: global supremacy, the soul of liberty, the imagination of a generation. America, the West's shining beacon, couldn't falter. The Apollo program was born, not just to touch the moon, but to prove the West's resolve, its ingenuity, its courage. The early days were raw and perilous. Test pilots, men carved from steel, Chuck Yeager, Gus Grissom, Alan Shepard, pushed untested machines to the brink. Rockets shattered on launch pads, their fiery failures a stark reminder of the cost of ambition. Mercury capsules, barely larger than coffins, hurled men into the void. In 1961, Shepard's 15-minute suborbital flight roared defiance at the Soviets, a bold first step. Yet every launch was a gamble, every mission a dance with death as the West clawed its way toward the stars. Tragedy struck in 1967. Apollo 1's crew, Gus Grissom, Ed White, Roger Chaffee, sat sealed in their capsule for a routine test. A spark ignited pure oxygen, and in seconds, flames consumed them. The nation mourned, their loss a searing wound, but their sacrifice forged an unbreakable resolve. The West would not yield, would not let their deaths be in vain. NASA pressed forward, fueled by the courage of those fallen heroes. By 1968, Apollo 8 soared into history. Frank Borman, Jim Lovell, and William Anders became the first humans to orbit the moon. On Christmas Eve, they read from Genesis, their words beaming to a world holding its breath, a testament to the West's enduring spirit. The Soviets were closing in. Whispers of their own lunar craft stoked the fire of urgency. Time was slipping away, and the race tightened. July 16, 1969, Apollo 11, the mission to end the race. Neil Armstrong, Buzz Aldrin, and Michael Collins, three men carrying America's pride, the West's honor, into the unknown. The Saturn V, a towering colossus, roared to life at Cape Kennedy, 7.5 million pounds of thrust shaking the Earth. The world watched, hearts pounding, as the Soviets stood powerless. This was the moment to seize the heavens. 3 days, 240,000 miles through the void, every second fraught with peril. A computer glitch threatened the lunar descent. Fuel dwindled. Armstrong, steady as stone, piloted the Eagle manually, dodging boulders, hunting a landing site. 30 seconds of fuel remained. The West dream hung by a thread. America held its breath. The free world watched. Failure was not an option. Then, triumph.
Listen, Tranquility Base here. The Eagle has landed.
On July 20th, 1969, Neil Armstrong stepped onto the lunar surface, his boot sinking into alien dust.
It's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
Buzz Aldrin followed, planting the stars and stripes. The West had won. The moon, once a distant dream, now bore America's flag, a blazing symbol of freedom's triumph over tyranny. The Soviets faltered, their lunar ambitions crumbled. Apollo 11 was more than a technological feat. It was a victory of spirit, of courage, of the West's unyielding will. What can men of the West learn from these heroes today? The Apollo astronauts teach us that courage conquers the impossible, that unity and resolve triumph over division, and that the West's spirit, rooted in liberty and daring, can overcome any challenge. Let us carry their fire forward, face the unknown with grit, chase bold dreams, and keep the flame of freedom burning bright for generations to come.